I never thought firing up the grill for a backyard barbecue would end with my HOA president barring my entire family from visiting until I watched her realize she'd just crossed the wrong judge's son. Before we dive in, comment below. Where are you watching from? The scent of sizzling burgers wafted through my backyard as my sister Laura chased her giggling twins through the sprinkler. After 6 months apart, this family visit meant everything. I'd only moved to Maplewood Commons 3 months ago, lured by its manicured lawns and friendly vibe. No one warned me about President Eleanor Hart. "Excuse me, what's happening here?" she barked, striding across the grass in spiked heels, clipboard in hand. "Your guests aren't registered." I placed the spatula down. "I'm David Lawson. Just moved in. They're my sister and her children." Eleanor's lips thinned. Bylaw 4.2, all visitors must register 72 hours in advance. Unregistered guests must leave immediately. My niece froze mid-sprinkler and my sister glared. "They're family, not tourists." Eleanor simply wrote on her clipboard, "First warning, visitor violation." 3 warnings, she reminded us, meant fines. My heart pounded. I glanced at my sister's wide-eyed kids and offered, "I'll register them Monday." She shook her head. "They must leave now." I felt anger flare, but before I could protest, a more commanding voice joined us. "Is there a problem?" My father, 68-year-old Judge William Lawson, stepped onto the patio, cane in hand, still commanding respect in a single glance. Eleanor's eyes widened. "Judge William Lawson? Grandfather's title doesn't override state law," Dad said calmly. "Please show me where the covenant allows banning family visits." The HOA president faltered under his steady gaze. "It's Clause 4.2. Visitor registration covers recreational facilities, not private home gatherings." Dad's voice was soft but certain. "I think you'll want to review your bylaws again." Eleanor stiffened, collected her papers, and retreated. As she marched away, I realized this barbecue was just Act 1, and our family was about to face a war of rules nobody saw coming. Just 2 days later, I found a formal 3-strike notice taped to my door, effectively banning my sister's family from Maplewood Commons. Meanwhile, invitations to the HOA's July 4th parade listed Eleanor Hart as Grand Marshal. The message was clear: defy the rules and you'll be exiled. At my birthday dinner, complete with cake and candles, a black SUV idled across the street. Eleanor emerged with Vice President Mark Baxter and Secretary Diane Cole, demanding IDs for my visiting parents. "No registration, no entry," Diane declared, brandishing a tablet. My father stood once again calm. "My wife and I are here for our son's birthday. This is absurd." But Eleanor recited fines, $600 for visitor violations due in 10 days, or property liens would follow. That night, Dad and I pored over the HOA covenant. There it was, visitor rules, but only for amenities like the pool and clubhouse. Nothing about banning family from private homes. I drove to neighbor Allen's house. He and his in-laws had been harassed too. His story echoed ours. Sudden fines, yard inspections, even garbage collection suspended. On Monday, a terse certified letter arrived, a demand for $2,800 in unpaid penalties. It was excessive, and from our private HOA, not any government. My father picked up the phone. By evening, county officials pulled into the neighborhood, badges visible. An unannounced audit was underway. HOA board members scrambled as county inspectors filed into the clubhouse to review financial records and corporation documents. Word spread that the HOA had failed to file key bylaws with the county recorder's office, and that Eleanor and Baxter's companies had received suspicious payments from HOA funds. As neighbors peered from their windows, Dad whispered, "Rules are rules, but so is the law." Maplewood Commons had just become the scene of an officially sanctioned curb on HOA overreach. That evening's emergency HOA meeting was packed. Eleanor paced nervously as County Counsel Elaine Rivera stepped to the podium. Under County Code 12.4, private associations cannot impose visitor bans on residents' guests, Rivera announced. "We're suspending the board's enforcement powers pending full review." Eleanor's protests were drowned out when Inspector Ramirez detailed $85,000 funneled from HOA dues into Eleanor's boutique landscaping firm and Baxter's property management company. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Neighbors who'd once feared retribution now cheered. My father rose to address the assembly. "I've taught the law for decades, and I've learned that community thrives on fairness. Today, we begin rebuilding trust." He laid out a proposal: dissolve the current board, hold open elections, and draft simple rules to ensure visitors, family, and friends are always welcome at residents' homes. By midnight, Eleanor and Baxter were served subpoenas for fraud and breach of fiduciary duty, their terms as HOA officers revoked. The first transitional board elections were scheduled for the following week, with candidates vetted for transparency and integrity. They tried to lock out my family. Instead, they unlocked a movement that reminded everyone that no HOA can outvote justice, especially when a judge's family stands united. 6 months later, I rocked on my grandmother's swing once more, this time on our newly repainted porch. Children's laughter filled the air as families mingled under picnic tables. A modest sign at our entrance read, Maplewood Commons Community Association, all families welcome. Enjoyed this tale of family, firewalls, and fair play? Hit like and subscribe for more real-life HOA showdowns. The end.